Well, I'm quite excited. I've just finished the third movement of the Great War Symphony. Here's the first page. Elegy, 1916 to 1917. And the second movement was a march. This movement is just the opposite. It's very still and reflective, which is appropriate because this third year of the war was in any case quite stagnant, with very little progress being made by the Germans or the Allies. And it's an opportunity to focus on the all-important emotions of sorrow, loss, and of course love. Love between son and parents, between husband and wife, and indeed between the soldiers themselves. And the elegy is in the wonderfully warm key of G flat major. A great sense of sinking into something really lovely and reassuring. Of course, that's played by the strings, and it's actually taken up by a solo cello, which I really do think gives this heart-rending sort of quality to the music. And against it, the choir sing offbeat. What passing bells for those who die as cattle. Words, of course, by Wilfred Owen, the anthem for doomed youth. And I set them offbeat. What passing? Because the main beats have a breath to them. What? And I think that creates a sense of sighing, even of weeping. I follow this with the first of two episodes. And the first is sung by the tenor to words by Mary Borden. This is the Song of the Mud. Great words. This is the Song of the Mud, the beautiful, glistening, golden mud that covers the hills like satin, but goes on to say that mud, the smooth, fluid grave of our soldiers. This is important because mud was indeed the main feature of the landscape at this time, and I didn't want to let that go unsaid. It's followed by a duet. I knew I wanted to have a duet for the two soloists, soprano and tenor, and this is where it comes. The words are taken from the gravestone of my Uncle Harry, who was killed in October 1916, Battle of the Somme, and words from the gravestone as well of his friend. And the words are, who was also killed at the same time. And the words on his grave are, may his reward be as great as his sacrifice. And those two sets of words form the basis of the duet. Then the second episode, America. Words again by a female poet, Florence Earle Coates, from the poem America Speaks. We have been sleeping, dreaming, now thank God we are awake, awake and ready with a will, the nobler part to take. And it goes on about dedicating our lives to God and liberty forever. I set this for soprano with a little bit of chorus and fanfare trumpet, which I really do think helps to give it this American military feel. And then on to the final section, which is very dear to me, and it's so beautiful, I think. And it's a setting of a poem by an unknown poet called Sidney Oswald, The Dead Soldier, and is written from one soldier to another, a living soldier to a dead soldier. And it talks about his dear brown eyes and sweet red lips. The eyes shone with the fire of thy so guileless youth, Now, ruthless death has dimmed them and closed them forever. I just feel that the beauty of this poem and the elegiac feel of the music really combine to bring this movement to a really beautiful, reflective close. This is the melody of this part of the elegy, the final part, which is related to the first part. Thy dear brown eyes, and so on. And that is then the end of this third movement.